Hey guys. Hey guys, welcome back home. This is home. This is where the heart is, where Jesus is Lord, and the word of God is our what? Our daily bread. Thank you so much. Welcome home. I love you, bo sweetie. Is Tana's Gati. Oh, guys, welcome back. So for those of you who decided it was a good thing to join this family, shout out to you. No, shout out to you because what? You are blessed and highly favored. Blessed coming in, blessed going out, blessed in the city, blessed in the field. Oh, Jesus. Therefore, you are what? Blessed. Thank you. So today, I'm going to talk about my experiences at the clinical side and get recommender to be in the city or to be in the rural areas and why and my experience. So I will share the experience I got but also then share in detail my favorite experience and why then therefore do I choose between a city and what? A rural area side. Sharp. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Phamela Radebe. I'm a clinical associate, qualified clinical associate in Jesus' name. Thank you so much. We bless God for that. So now I studied at the University of Pretoria, right? Sure. So I want to say, guys, how a healthcare practitioner how honestly, like it's not an easy job. It's not an easy job. It's not an easy career. Like be it nurse or doctor or clinical associate or anything, family medicine, in surgery or pharmacist or whatever that is in the health. It's not easy. It's not easy because you're dealing with people's lives. You understand? Like that is a very serious calling. Because one mistake, a person can die. And then good decisions can make people live longer. You understand? So, it's a very serious career choice. So, when you go into the career, I want to firstly say, be sure that the reason why you want to go there is because you want to save lives. As much as parents love influencing us to study such degrees, but make sure that you would wake up one day and be happy to go and save someone's life, to go and improve someone's quality of life. Because if that's not the case, you will spend the rest of your life depressed. Because why? Guys, it's depressing if you don't like it. It's even depressing also when you like it. You understand? Because ke bophelo ba batho o tlo dula le di-colleague tse nahanang di tseba ho feta. Because they think they know better, they've been here before, you can't tell them nothing, and so therefore they make the working environment very toxic. You understand? So it's very depressing. On top of having to stress about saving someone's life, you have to stress about colleagues that think they know better than other people. You understand? And you also have to deal with supervisors and seniors that think the world is theirs. And they abuse the power that is in their hands. So for healthcare workers, Shem, we have to pray for a very healthy working environment. Because guess what? If the environment is toxic, can you imagine how much that will have a very negative impact on patients? Like that will affect patients so much because now o tla bo healthcare worker sebetsang e kwatile because of frustrated. So now you become mean to patients. Now it's hey, now you are confused. You end up making mistakes. Now someone's life is in danger because of frustration and because of someone that chose to be mean and thought it was a good thing to ruin your day. Understand? So yeah. Some environments are very toxic, I won't lie. They are very toxic. Even this week, this video on TikTok. Number 22, this other doctor said, you need to pray for healthcare workers. It's not easy. And he was crying in the car. And then this lady, she's a nurse. She also resigned. Ne? She also resigned finally. Has that again because the working environment was very toxic for her. She couldn't deal with that anymore. So she was so happy crying. Finally, I'm free. But guess what? Her resigning has created so much gap. You know what difference one person can make within the team of healthcare workers? So imagine if that one person is taken away. One doesn't know that the new person that has to come has to fill her gap. Especially if the person that leads the team was someone that loved their work. It creates a huge gap. And even patients will start asking, oh, Sam, where is Sister Mama? Where is Dr. Mama? Where is what? Where is, because why? How hard I'm saying to all the patients not have it. And guys, it's not a bad thing to be a good person. Hi, it's not a bad thing to be a good person. But you care about them, you listen to them, you want to see them prosper. That in itself brings so much difference. It makes so much difference in someone's health, in someone's recovery. Understand? Sharp. So how can you give it to so 2019 ke rotatile Nicolo rotator TDH, which is in Pretoria in the city, right? Sharp. So because it was my first time being in the hospital, I get what's about for the objectives. Hore. Ashley. Hore. Fancy who meted these requirements. So they give you objectives. So Haslam must feel what's about draw money from patients. What's about a procedure eating. What's about how urine dipstick interpreted the results. Alright? So they give you objectives. Sharp. So Naka first year because I just made sure that my objectives were met. Like I made sure that I did everything that needed to be done for the year. Ne? Because problem with me is I'm very shy. And I find it hard to approach people, especially if they have this serious face. Because most doctors are very serious when they're working. Ne? So then what I would do is and I love hanging out with nurses a lot because as much as they are mean sometimes, but they're willing to help a lot of times, especially with students. Most of the nurses are very friendly, according to me and my experience. Ne? And my experience got first year TDH. So I would hang out with nurses a lot and work with them and assist them. Ne? And I was not supposed to only work with them. I was also supposed to work with doctors, know how nurses do their things, because I needed to know how they administer medication, how they mix medication, and also learn the names of these medications, because they're the ones that master and deal with medications. Understand? So with doctors, you need to know the thing, the diagnosis, how you work up a patient, how you work up something. You learn from the doctors. Sharp. So now, Nikisa created that balance because Nikki feel like I'm shy. Some doctors are not very easily approachable. So therefore, I spent most of my time with who? The nurses. Sharp. So during my first year and some other students, so they would ask questions, they would follow doctors, and they ended up going to the ICUs and seeing operations being done. I never. My first year rotation, I didn't go into the ICU and theaters and see people being operated on. Next. Because also it was not part of my objectives, so I didn't care to learn and want to know. But for people that are doing their first years, whether o doctor, nurse, eng, watch our team, clinical associate, what. Guys, it's important to engage. Even if information we're told today, you don't necessarily need it for where you are. But trust me, in the future, it will benefit you so much. Ne? So even if the information they give you is overwhelming and it's too much for you and where you are in your standard and you are not yet there, you are not yet qualified to know so much, take that information. You will use it, you will need it in the future. Ne? Sharp. That's my advice for first year students, for students who are rotating at the hospital for the first time. Ne? Sharp. Joale. And then yaba 2020 yaba COVID, so ne ba mpleisitse ko Mamelodi Hospital in Pretoria as well. Ne? Other students then started going outside the, what is this, the city. Baba ne ba bo Durban, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, kai. So then it's like Pretoria girl, city girl, hot girl Sam, understand? So because COVID hit, I think we only rotated at that hospital for like a month or so. Mara, I think more than 2 months, understand? So sharp 2022 ha khutlela Mamelodi ka do rotate day. 2021 man ka khutlela Mamelodi. Now ka 2021 I also demotivated, like I won't lie, I'm not gonna lie. That year for me was the worst year of my life. I was so demotivated, Nikili slowly. I swear to God, if basang lawyer that year, ba phethe bang lawyer happy. Niki feeling ka I'm bewitched. Nikili slow learner, ke lebala, ke sena motivation, ke sa batlo learner. Especially because I have to cover my hours, ke bala fela o pasa, ke le ngwane o fela demotivated, like I was so demotivated. Kanti ke dila le heartbreak. Hey, that year was a mother for me. Guys, also don't mix mujolo and books. Do not do that. It's very dangerous, that thing. It will affect your academics so much. Don't do that thing. Do not do that thing. Because when you guys break up in the midst of being a student, you will mess up your career life so much. Especially if you're someone who, how break up alimoto, you can't separate that from your books. It affects your functionality. Don't do it, my sister, my brother. Don't run from Jolo. Run with your whole heart. Run. Because also now how you deal with heartbreak, you'll start drinking alcohol, which means what? Less time for books. You will start going out and doing all sorts of things, and that means what? Less time for your books. And it means what? You're not learning. And what? Possibilities and chances of what? Failing. That's what happens. You understand? So 2021, yo, come Mamelodi, I was so demotivated. And unfortunately at that hospital, the doctors are saying, most of my seniors, let me not say doctors only, my seniors, in a labor to about it. If you wanna learn, you'll come to me. If you don't, sharp, do you boo? Like, I'm here to work, I'm getting paid for what I do, so let's go. Understand? And now I loved emergency medicine at that time, so I thought. I don't anymore. So I would go to what? If I'm assigned to other departments, I would go there. But because in those departments, the doctors attend my age, like they do the rounds, the ward rounds, and then after they're done, they leave. I would go back to casualty, because casualty doctors are there 24/7. Ne? I would go to casualty and help, but I'd be a procedure ban, meaning that now when I got there, I didn't ask a lot of questions about why is this thing like this. See, when you have a diabetic patient, what? I didn't ask. My job was to just do procedures, see, and if I'm being asked questions, I answer where I can, and where I can't, they teach me what. But I was not, zero mudland. I had zero motivation that year. Guys, zero. Okay? So I like even Gadi, what is this? On if when I was on call. So for those of you who don't understand what being on call means, it means being on night shift, ne? So if I was on call, I would never 24-hour call. Nah, being on your feet 8 to 8. Sometimes I would go ka 4 p.m. because call handling the ka 4 p.m. with 8 a.m. Ne? So when I near 8 a.m. ho fihlela ka 8 a.m. the following day because petlele ne se le hole le kae le rest. Nahana Mamelodi the Headfield, too much distance, and so therefore would avoid having to travel a lot of times and just make one trip there and come back the following day. Ne sharp standard sum. So the doctor tse ngata ka bo 12 ne di rata hore no students who solely clear now, it's quiet, you guys can go home if you have cars, ne? And I promise you, if I had a car or if I had the money, ne ke dula ke request Uber, and Uber ya mo ke 150 ho tloha mo, sometimes give 100 rand, sometimes give 120, ne? Ho tloha Mamelodi ho ya Brooklyn, because ne ke dula Brooklyn, ne ke tlo ya. Or if I had a boyfriend, ne ke tlo mo founela ka 12 ke ra tlo lata. If I, that's how demotivated I was that year. So sometimes we'd sleep and get a. So sometimes kabo 12 because it's quiet and everyone will click a mission or get lost. So then they would give each other breaks. Maybe if it's 4 doctors on call that night, 2 would stay behind ka 12 year by 2 ba lo robala ka 3 ba tsuwe bana nang ba tsame ba lo robala ba tla tsoa ka 6 ya ho so dirwa doctors rounds before the actual round when the seniors arrive. So have an about 2 and maybe we took a nap from 12. No, I wouldn't take a nap, I would sleep. Maybe my friends, because of guilt, sometimes they would wake up and go help. And we told the patients didn't happen. Some later hunali scene, maybe we fitly ambulance, hunali accident MVA one, and so they would help. Understand? And that means what? They were engaging and wanting to learn. Me, my sister, I was always sleeping. Like the only time I would work after 12, I would work if Banzo's like no Pam, we need more hands, let's go. Then I would go. Understand? So I won't even lie, I was so demotivated into it, but I passed. Ne? So I think my facilitator saw with this one. She needs different scenery. She needs to go somewhere where she can learn more. So we are going to take her to a different environment. You are going to a rural area. 2022. So I then went there. I went to Mpumalanga. Ne? So when I go to Mpumalanga, guys, at first I'm very annoyed because now I won't be a city girl anymore. I was used to city life and being that girl and a little balcony and just living my best life as a city girl. And as a content creator, it made sense for me to be in the city. Do you understand? So no, God had other plans. I went to Pumalanga. The best thing that has ever happened to me. But when I went there, I didn't know. I was just annoyed, like, what? Me? But then, because luckily they placed me when Tsiki there. So we went and we're like, no, you know what? Let's make the best out of this year. Maybe we actually really need to be outside Gauteng. And low-key, we're really tired of Gauteng. So we went and we were positive about it. Hey, but little did we know that what we're signing up for is danger, but good danger though. Guys, we get there the first day, morning meeting, something that I've never experienced, something that I've never encountered before. Especially so in the morning meetings, and the whole reason for these morning meetings is to always rectify mistakes that people make, minor mistakes that can kill or rescue someone's life. So it's almost like a review morning meeting. especially for people that are on call. So you present your patients that you saw, and then if someone is curious about a certain diagnosis, they will then ask your approach to that diagnosis and how you were able to manage a patient. And if you made a mistake, then it would be an advantage for us and an opportunity for us to learn. Oh, so I'm not supposed to treat this patient with this condition like this. I'm supposed to treat them like that. Oh, this is why. And if I don't, then I can expect these consequences. You understand? So it was a very eye-opening meeting. We did that for the whole year, every day, Monday to Friday. Understand? And they would also ask us questions and have us engaging. So now here was the thing. They made us present Monday to Friday. Mind you, this is a meeting that has about plus or minus 20 doctors in the room. And those 20 doctors means what? Means perhaps your crush is in that room. Maybe your potential future husband is in that room. And should you mess up and embarrass yourself, it means there are greater chances of losing that man, because no smart man would want a dumb wife. Do you understand? Especially the sapiosexual couple. So because I'm also shy, that was an issue for me. Like, why can't I represent it? Because also now, guys, because they rotate in different departments, right? So they made us nearly 5. So everyone had their day of the week to present. So they made us present. So now when you present the patient, you must say why you chose that patient in that department, ne? And what you learned, and what questions do you have for your doctors. And if they manage the patient wrong, you will say boldly, I think they did wrong because 1, 2, and 3. You must be bold. They were teaching you to be bold and believe in yourself, and be like that person who makes a difference in people's lives. And yes, you were writing in a patient's file. So understand now, they were already training you to be that girl. They were training you to stand up for yourself and trust your what is this? It's hard. Trust your that thing. I'm forgetting this. Trust your judgment. Yes. So Bazalwane, it was a very crucial and difficult moment. A very compromising situation for my life. Every day I had to present, I would cry for dear life, because I'm not trying to embarrass myself. No, I'm not trying to be a beautiful girl with no brains. No. What if someone is crushing on me and I don't know? What if I have a secret admirer and now I am going to embarrass myself? And now, if they taught you something and they ask you again in a very different manner, and you don't understand that they're actually asking you what they told you yesterday, it means we're now all embarrassment. You must understand. And everyone is just looking at you like, sis, you must be kidding us. Understand? So also, guys, I'm one person who will offer to answer like that. I do it on rare occasions. Ne? I only answer if Bar Pamela, what is what? Oh, what is this thing? And then sharp. That's me. If you don't ask me, I'm not answering. If there's an open-ended question, what is the management of hypertension? And they don't say anyone's name, I'm not answering. Why am I raising my hand? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it because I'm always scared of embarrassing myself. Because I know after that class, I'm going to beat myself up the whole day as to, girl, are you dumb? Are you stupid? That was me. I'm learning to be more kinder to myself and allowing myself to make mistakes. But it was so hard. But they taught me that it is okay. As the year went, they taught me that, girl, it's okay to make mistakes and learn from them. Guys, we presented the whole year. They made us, We learned. Wa bona ntho tse ne ke sa di tsebe bo Mamelodi le bo TDH le di what. There I left knowing ne ke tseba le dosage, ne ke tseba le hydrochlorothiazide, ne ke tseba man metformin ntho fela. I left that hospital knowing shem. As much as ne ke se motho a arabang in the morning meetings, but I will tell you this, I left there equipped for the war. Like they made sure, guys, you would learn ngenkani. And if someone is presenting, you have to have questions for them to see that you actually know what this person is doing. They taught you to listen attentively. Mara, this person said this and it doesn't apply with the diagnosis this person is working on. You understand? So they were teaching you to be an active listener, to correct mistakes and be bold about your corrections, to stand up for yourself, to manage patients with care and holistically. Like, don't just treat the symptoms, treat the cause, the source, and also make sure that the patient mentally, socially, and what they are fine, because these factors can contribute to someone's health issues. Understand? Guys, that hospital shame, it was the best. Although it was toxic in a sense that they made you work long hours more than the hours you're supposed to actually work. Hi, Shem. We learned. We were crying, yes, because sometimes we'll complain about hours. For we have to go study, we have assignments every week that we need to submit and what. Shem, but you would work. If they needed an assistant, they will call you on your personal phone and say, come to theater, we need a hand. They were training us to get used to that life, because in reality, you are going to knock off and go home and someone is going to call you and say, please come back to the hospital. That is the life that we chose. Understand? So, in conclusion, to answer the question, do I prefer a city clinical site or a rural area clinical site? I honestly prefer a rural area clinical site. This is because they make you think outside the box. And most, in rural areas, although Middleburg Hospital is not a rural area, Middleburg Hospital is not within the rural area, but it is considered as, because in Pumalanga, and I'm really sorry guys, but they teach you to think outside the box, and you learn to work with the little resources that you have. Unlike when you're working at a tertiary hospital, a big hospital where there's a lot of technology and a lot of things that you can just take and use, they teach you that as much as 1 + 1 is 2, 4 divided by 2 can be 2 as well. 10 minus 8 can also be 2. 5 minus 3 can also be 2. So that is I don't know if you get me, but if Olumutuamoya, you will get what I'm trying to say. Okay, Kechaka Moya. Yeah, they teach you, like, understand? Like, it boosted my confidence so much. I got to learn so much. Like, Nikitavela, who learner. She get it. As much as sometimes it was painful and I'll get mad and feel like my seniors are being unfair. But looking back now, I'm really grateful that they were that strict when they needed to be, and they put so much pressure on us, and they make us work long hours the way they did. I'm really grateful. I am. So at least once I'll go outside, like if your school offers the opportunity to go and do your practicals outside the city, please take that advantage and use it. You will never go wrong. You will never go wrong. As much as other people are toxic, but as long as you know that you're there to learn, I feel like that will help you so much. So for those of you who are in university this year and finishing their studies and also starting, guys, all the best. Make sure that you are fully present and that you make the most out of every experience and every encounter, and that you go back home and you reflect. Reflecting is very important. Nonetheless, God bless you. Have a blessed and fruitful academic year. Love you.